others. Because we cannot morally accept or justify that certain opportunities should or justify that criteria opportunities should or are worth more than other opportunities.
Like President Zoll said, hey President Zoll, we have a SASE initiative, we have a CEI initiative, and we have registration fees. These together are almost 70% of ICA's budget. Don't you think we should have more of a say in how the money is spent? I'd like to reiterate, I'd like to extend, along with Heidi and everyone in this room, an invitation to Mr. Warzeka in a spirit of openness and transparency, not in confrontation, okay? We want to talk. We do not want to yell at you, okay? That is not our aim, okay? We want you to come out and please let us know about the numbers. Give us the numbers, and we'll sit down and talk. We're asking for 1 year. That's all we are asking for. We're asking for 1 year and 1 chance. Thank you.
I'd just like to make some comments on Joey and Heidi's excellent speeches. The letter that they talked about, the Katehi letter, she actually said that we would get a 3-year transition period for the $150 million cut. So obviously that has not been in play. And then the administration, the athletics administration, definitely did not make it clear to some teams that they were supposed to raise 10% of their operating budget. I'm on the women's tennis team, and we were never told this, while our fellow student athletes on other teams were told to raise the 10%. And so the administration, this is just another example of how the athletics administration has not been clear or transparent through the process.
Thank you, Joey. Thank you, Heidi. Thank you, Sydney. All right, our next person up is Paul Medved. He's an alumni, and his daughter's an alumni, and he's one of the most dedicated parents I've ever met.
Woo!
Thank you, Zach. Thank you, folks. Thanks for being here tonight. This is huge, and it's important, and I think we can all feel that. I see in the program that I'm representing the alumni perspective. That makes me a little nervous. I'm not sure I represent the cats that live in our house. So, but I will say that I would give you my perspective, and I would hope that it represents the majority of a very big number of alumni that are out there. That the more they think about it, the more they become aware of it, the more they get past the kind of stuff that Dr. Elsbach was talking about all this, these reams of documents that are out there that justify this decision and this process and all that kind of stuff. If you don't read it, you don't get it. And I did, and I did it a couple of times, and I came to the same conclusion that we heard here tonight, that this was a setup from the beginning. And I studied engineering when I was here back in the 70s, 1870s maybe. and I was famous for fooling myself with solutions to problems that didn't pass the common sense test. And it's because I didn't set them up properly. I mean, that happened to me time and time again. I'm over that now. I do things a lot better now. But it really does matter how you set things up. And I think Dr. Lyons said the same thing. Probably more time would be good, but also a different purview would be good too. This thing needs to get set up properly along the lines of openness and transparency we're talking about. A couple other things. I heard sustainability mentioned. Sustainability is a very big word for me. It's taken over a lot of my life, actually. And when I'm out fishing through the garbage cans to get cellophane out so that I can take it to Safeway to recycle it, I'm thinking that word. And I hear it used now in a context that confuses me. And I think about how the same people who came to the conclusion that we should throw 4 sports under the bus would deal with the issue of population in the world. On this planet, we have some 6 billion people, and I'm not sure that's a sustainable number, and it's supposed to go to 9 billion people. Well, what if ICA were put in charge of making this sustainable planet, you know? What happens to a couple of billion people like tomorrow or 6 weeks from now because, hey, the fiscal year's coming up and, you know, how it goes. We got to think about things like stuff like that. And beyond that, those are my improvisational remarks. I'd like to read you a few things that I prepared. One is that the people, non-Aggies, will often ask me why I care so much about all this. And you know, after all, haven't I? It's been a long time since I was a student here, and I'm a guy I like watching football and basketball. In fact, I even played about 15 minutes worth of basketball when I was here. You know, we get cable and stuff, and I'm good, you know, and those sports are fine. And Emily, who graduated in 2009, she swam for 4 years, had a great experience. She's done, and women's swimming is, for the moment, not threatened either. So why should I care? Why should I spend so much time worrying about somebody else's problem? Why should I bother to write to the athletic director, to the coaches, to more vice chancellors than I knew existed? And the chancellor and Chancellor Emeritus and President of the University of California and Regents, where we were this morning. A number of us were there this morning and a number are going back tomorrow. That's, I believe, that's where Chancellor Katay was this morning. So why? What am I thinking? Am I crazy? And I don't think so. I think I have a couple of good reasons. Hopefully I set this problem up right. Because there's been an injustice done to my fellow Aggies. And these are some of the finest young people that I've had the pleasure to meet. And there's also been a harm done to my university, to the university, and we're talking about my university. And so I do what I do partly to save it from itself. And so anyway, I do what I can. I'd like to share with you a couple of stories, if you don't mind. The first is an excerpt of an email conversation I had with a local columnist late one night in mid-April. And I've reason to believe this gentleman is an Aggie too, and I'm sure he's a good guy at heart. He had chosen to write a column that day about a letter one of the men swimmers wrote to the newspaper in the aftermath of the announcement of the cuts. The columnist was sympathetic, but had concluded that without enough money, the university had no choice but to do what it did. Unable to resist, I emailed him, thanked him for his attention to the issue, and told him that if we were all starting from scratch and if there was no such thing as history, well, I might just agree with him. But since